welcome to Better My Blueprint podcast. I'm your host, Alicia, and I am super excited to be able to talk to you guys today and for you guys to see my very first episode. It took a long time to get here, but I am overjoyed and grateful to be able to sit here in front of you guys, or for you guys to listen to me if you're listening on other platforms, to just basically talk about life, talk about society, talk about culture, talk about the things that we all go through as human beings on this beautiful green earth that we live on. So just a little bit about Better My Blueprint. Better My Blueprint, the inspiration came from one day I was just trying to figure out the name for the podcast, and I was like, okay, well, the whole purpose of me doing it is to inspire people and help people to be a better version of themselves and to fix the inside and not always focus so much on the outside. And so I was like, well, what would be a way to say that in a name without it being like cringy or without it being like, okay, so obvious. I wanted it to be something like that no one would ever think of. And I'm pretty sure there's other people out there with a business that's similar to the name. But then eventually, for some reason, I was praying and I just kept getting this vision of blueprints and construction and working and building. And so eventually AI, thanks to AI, it helped me to eventually find a name based on my vision, based on my dreams, based on what God was telling me to name the podcast. And so eventually I came with Better Your Blueprint, but unfortunately somebody else's podcast was called that or something close to it. So I changed Better Your to Better My. Thanks with the help from my homegirl. She helped me to find out that, it was already taken. So I figured Better My Blueprint, because you guys are not, I'm not going to just be sitting here teaching you how to basically how to better yourselves, because at the end of the day, I'm still trying to better myself. There's still things that I need to work on as a individual. So I figured Better My Blueprint so that we can feel connected, you feel me? Because I'm trying to create a community. I'm trying to show people that, yeah, it's all glitz and glam on social media, but behind closed doors, we're all going through similar or same things. So yeah, like my goal and purpose is to help people to better themselves, give people information that they probably didn't even know of, and most importantly, to bring people closer to God, because I feel like God is using me as a vessel to do that. I feel like He's giving me the privileges to be able to stand before you and speak to you about, Him and how He's helped me and how He's helped people I've seen. And I try my best not to get too religious, because I know a lot of people like cut off their phones or get off social media once they see things about God. But I love God, and throughout these different episodes, I am going to be mentioning Him a lot, because I wouldn't be who I am, and my being and my personality and my characteristics wouldn't have gotten better if it wasn't for Him. So, clap it up for the big G-O-D. So to move on, I know a lot of people are wondering, well, Alicia, there's only one of you. I thought it was two of you. A lot of people asking a whole lot of questions and reaching out to me on social media, and family and friends asking, like, Alicia, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, well, I can either tell you or tell all these millions of people asking me these questions, or I can just explain it here. Unfortunately, my other half will not be here. She, has other things that are more important right now. She's focusing on her career, focusing on bettering herself, like we all are. And so I will be leaving her handle and her name of her business in the comments, as well in the descriptions. And if anybody asks, I will be able to give you her Instagram, as well as other social medias that she has, because she is a real estate agent in DFW, one of the best. So right now that's where she's focusing, and I support her 100%, love her to death, and I'm just happy for the future endeavors for her. While she's doing what God has for her and her road to success, He is also doing the same for me with podcasting, with speaking to people, getting my name out there, and just helping people out there that necessarily really need, that big sister type of help, So I think that's really what's going on here, and I'm just so excited for this journey with you guys. I hope that you like listening to me. I hope my voice isn't annoying, because I know some people be like, oh, people's voice is annoying. I can't hear this every day. But I'm just hoping for the best with this podcast. I'm hoping that I'm able to reach people and help people. And most importantly, I'm just hoping to do God's will, because that's main priority right now. I'm having fun with this whole podcast thing. Everyone has a podcast, so why can't I? So yeah, this is Better My Blueprint. Please, if you can, download me and download the episode on Spotify, because that's where you will be able to listen to me, especially if you're on the road or busy but have time to listen to a podcast. And if you are more of a visual learner, more of a visual person, you can definitely find me on YouTube, and I'll have all of those different handle names in the description, as well as I will tag it on the video. So let's get into the second segment of this podcast, where we'll be talking about the topic for today. Topic for today is what to do in your waiting season. The main topic is waiting season. So for people who do not know what a waiting season is, or they're like, okay, I heard that before, but I never really understood exactly what that even means, I'm going to tell you. So waiting season, the definition is waiting is a time of preparation and growth. Sometimes people's waiting season is a couple of weeks, sometimes it's a couple of months, or sometimes it's a couple of years. But most importantly, God teaches us to be patient and obedient in our season of waiting. So that's a little bit about what waiting season is. Two scriptures that I will be pulling from the Bible, just so that you guys can go back on it and read more on it, understand the story behind it. I'm going to be reading from Psalms 37 verse 7, and it says, "Be still in the presence of the Lord and wait patiently for God to act." In certain versions, it might say something a little bit different, but that's what it says in my Bible, so that's what I'm giving you. And then I got Romans 12 verse 12, and y'all, I am reading from my book. This is going to be as unprofessional as possible, because we're not perfect. So anyway, Romans 12 verse 12, it basically says, "Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, and be constant in prayers." I think that's a very strong scripture, especially when it comes to waiting season and just being patient and waiting on God. I want to tell you guys a little bit of my testimony. I'm not going to give y'all all my business, but I'm going to tell y'all a little something, and please forgive me for the sounds. My dog, he is not in the best mood, and I have these braces, so I have a little bit of a lisp, but they're coming off soon, so bear with me, okay? So a little bit about me. I was adopted at 7 years old, 7 years old. Basically, my dad, unfortunately, just didn't have the funds or the right mindset to really take care of me like he was supposed to. And I love my dad down, like love him to the ends of this earth. So he was a great father in my eyes. But unfortunately, with him getting sick and just getting too involved in things that he shouldn't have, I was removed from his household and put in a different household. I was put with my brother. He and his wife, who are basically my mother and father now, love them down as much as my dad. They took me in and basically helped me to be the person I am today. And as episodes go by, you'll hear more stories and experiences I had with them. But for the most part, they adopted me when I was 7, took me in, taught me how to write, because I wasn't in school. And you know, at a young age, when you're not in school, DCF are like, alert, 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 wondering like what's going on, why she's not in school. She was in school, but now she's not. So, you know, you get the picture. If you know about the system and all that, you understand like, okay, I got taken from DCF to be put in a better home. They helped me to read, helped me to write, helped me to struggle a little bit, but helped me to understand math. And they helped me to be, you know, educated. They helped me to be a woman, because my dad had me as a little tomboy. And they kind of helped me, honestly, and saved my life. And I owe them everything. A little bit more backstory. Me and my mom wasn't in my life at a young age. I didn't really get to know who my mom was and my other siblings and things like that until I got a little bit older. I think I was about 12, 13, maybe 14 years old when I met my mom. I don't necessarily remember because that was a very, very long time ago, and I am old. Not too old, but I'm old enough. Um, and I met my mom. Of course, it was going to be a little rocky because, you know, as a kid, when you hear things in your ears, people whisper things in your ears about certain people. So, me and my mom, unfortunately, we didn't get along as well as I would like in the beginning stages of me going into from childhood to girlhood to, I guess you could say, womanish teenhood. My mom is still in my life to this day. Definitely still some rocky communication and things like that, but I am very blessed to have my mom in my life, to have had my dad in my life at the time that I needed, and now I have two other parents in my life. So I'm very blessed, very grateful for what God has done for me. And so they helped me basically get into school. I struggled through school, not only with just education, but I struggled with just finding myself, figuring out who I am, what I like, what I don't like, who people are, understanding that everything isn't sugar coats and rainbows, and that in reality, like, life kind of can get real for you. And I learned that at a very young age. Being in school, dealing with, you know, your constant bullying, dealing with, you know, teachers hating on you, dealing with parents hating on you, people seeing the favor of God over your life, and people just, their spirits is just disturbed by it. So I dealt with a lot of that. Eventually I graduated from high school. Thank you, Jesus, for that, because, oh my gosh, I honestly was gonna give up and just drop out and just get my GED later on. But I'm glad that, like, I had parents to push me and tell me, like, okay, keep going, keep going. And so, to make a long story short, went to college, enjoyed college. I went to a community college and then eventually went to a university, which was in Florida, of course. And that is where I'm from Florida. I know a lot of people who are from where I'm from are going to be like, no, you're not from Florida, you're from here. But to make it easy for y'all, I am from Florida. And you know, it was rough. It was rough. I'm a family person. I don't like being away from my family, but I was only like 6-7 hours away, so it wasn't that bad. And so I learned a lot about being in your waiting season. I learned a lot about being patient and letting God create that path for you, and to try not to get discouraged and try not to lose your faith, because it might not look good now, but later on it's going to be, you know, way better than what you thought. And honestly, if it wasn't for DCF taking me, if it wasn't for the family I have now, if it wasn't for the stuff that I've been through, I would not be who I am today. I would not be where I am today. God definitely has talked to me several times about being patient and just preparing myself and waiting. And I personally feel like genuinely that being with my family now, being up under their roof and them teaching me their ways, prepared me for what God had waiting for me, which is where I am now. I am a homeowner. In my career, I'm also doing a job that I didn't even think I would actually like, being a teacher. Like, who would ever thought that I would ever be a teacher? Some people might say me, but I never thought. I mean, I love kids, I love helping people, but I never thought about being a teacher because honestly, I hated school. So yeah, to make a long story short, I've been through relationships, been through friendships, been through everything you could think of when it comes to going through stuff. I've been through it, okay? And so I do believe that God helped me to prepare and mentally get myself together, emotionally, spiritually, physically, you know, my health and everything, so that I can be who I am today. And not saying that I'm just this perfect Joe right now. Like, no, it's still so much stuff that I still have to learn. I'm still trying to be a better version of myself. But I am I won't say proud, because I try my best not to be prideful, but I am grateful for who I am today. Grateful for what I can bring to the table when it comes to a spouse, or when it comes to a friend, when it comes to my family. And I'm trying my best to build and build and build, especially with income, so that I can give back to my loved ones who made me who I am today. So that's just a little bit about me. So after telling y'all a little bit about myself, I just want to give you guys 10 steps that helped me I feel like you should do or try to do or learn to do while you're in your waiting season. The first step is going to be prayer. I'm sorry, before you do anything else, you need to work on your prayer. I always say that it doesn't have to be anything as fancy as what people say and what pastors and apostles say, where they be like, make a whole room and put up decorations and all that stuff. You don't gotta do all that. Listen, if your closet or your room or your bed or your shower is a place where you feel more comfortable, feel more at peace, then I say go to that place. That will be your secret corner, your secret place. Or some people, it's in their car. Like, I love to just sit in my car when I get home from work or get home from wherever I'm going and just breathe and just think and evaluate how the day's been and all that stuff. And before I walk into my house, not saying that my house ain't peaceful, because I've made my house very peaceful, as you can see and hear. But everybody has their secret place. So prayer is number one. Getting to know God, having your prayer time. And some people are like, well, I don't know what to say. I feel weird talking to myself. I don't know this and I don't know that. And it's like, I get you, because I was there and I was you. But at the same time, stop worrying about all this other stuff. All this other stuff that you're talking about does not matter. At the end of the day, just sit there and talk. Just sit there and vent. Sometimes it gets so bad where you can't even say words. All you can do is cry. And I promise you, God hears your heart, because that's what he's listening to. He's not necessarily listening to your words that come out your mouth, because sometimes you say stuff that you shouldn't say. Sometimes you say stuff that makes no sense. Sometimes you say stuff that doesn't really apply to you, but you feel the need to say it, especially out of anger, out of sadness, out of grief, out of whatever you're feeling. But God hears your heart, and he knows your truest desires and what you need and want for your life. And so sitting down every day, I try my best to not say time it, because you should not time. You should just sit there and be with God as long as you need to. But for beginners, people who are just starting out, and people who aren't fully religious yet, still trying to figure out what they want to do, I say set a timer, 10-15 minutes. Sit there and just talk to God. Tell him about your day. Tell him what you've been feeling. Tell him what you need. Tell him what you want. Tell him like what you want from him. And yeah, you might not hear nothing from him. Some people can't understand when God is talking. Some people don't know when God is talking. But God always finds a way that is comfortable and that matches who you are to find a way to reach you. Like me, I like reassurance a lot. And so God likes to reassure me through people that I feel comfortable with. So, don't feel like he's not listening to your prayers. He definitely is. And when he finds the time and the right place, he will reach out to you and explain to you the next steps and what to do and where he got you and what he wants you to do more of or do less of, and who he wants you to be based on his will for you. The next step is to be present. Forget the past. Let go of the future, because at the end of the day, we all try to control things that we cannot control. And at the end of the day, we cannot go back in time unless you got a time machine. I don't know nothing about it. Maybe you on your Back to Future type stuff, but at the end of the day, you cannot control what you cannot control. It happened. You can sit there and evaluate and be like, okay, that just happened, and then you move on. And a little bit about when I say let go of the future, what I mean is that you can work so hard. You could do so much to prevent things from happening. But at the end of the day, if God wants it to happen, if God allows it to happen, and if it's for you to learn a lesson, then it will happen. Regardless of what you do and say and what you try to stop, it's going to happen. So my advice to you is to just stay present. Enjoy the now. Enjoy where you are now. It helps you, it humbles you, helps you to be more grateful. It helps you to realize that maybe life isn't as bad as we try to be delusional and persuade ourselves to think. So, number 1, prayer. Number 2, being present. Number 3 is make memories. And like I said, be present. Enjoy what's going on around you. You're so focused on, I don't have this yet, I don't have that yet. And it's like, God is like, okay, but what do you have now? Do something with what you have now. If you only got $10,000 in your bank account and you wish that you had $1 million. Well, hey, you got $10,000. Do what you can, make memories with what you have so that you can get to that next goal, that next, whatever it is that God has for you. If it's for you to get $100 million, if it's for you to get $1 million, whatever the case is, you might only have $10 in your pocket. Make the best with what you have, because at the end of the day, some people don't have nothing. Some people don't got a dime, not a penny, not a quarter. So I always tell people to make memories and enjoy stuff, experience life, travel if you can. If you're unable to travel, walking down the street to the park is traveling. Everybody can't be like these influencers and these famous people online where, oh, if you're not going out the country, you're not considered living life. That's not true. Because let me tell you something. I don't live in my hometown, but every time I go back to my hometown, it feels like vacation. I don't have to be there that long either. A couple days, and I'm rejuvenated. I'm refreshed. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in the Bahamas, So, make the best of what you got and make the memories. The next step is to study and educate yourself. If you want to be, let's say, President of the United States, we're just going to take it there, then even though you're not going to be that right now because you still have a lot of work to do to get there, study, educate yourself, constantly read books, look online on websites that are legit, not just something blogs that people make. But, take the time to study what you want to be so that when it's time, you know what you're doing, you're not confused, you're not lost. So study, educate yourself. Like me, I want to be an event planner in the future. And I know that will come, and I know that God will bless me with the ability to be a event planner and event decorator. So until then, I purchase books from Amazon and I read through it, I study it, I mark things. I drive around my local city and, try to get familiar with the vendors and get familiar with other event planners and, trying to understand how they do things. And I had a mentorship in college that taught me the ropes to get to where I want to be when I become an event planner. So if there's something you want to do or somebody you want to be, well, not somebody you want to be because you should be yourself, but something you want to be, then I advise you to educate yourself. And don't just be on TikTok and think that TikTok is the new Google where they just give you all the information to be what you want to be. No. If you have to go to your local library, buy you a library card and read and start from scratch and start from the bottom, then do that so that you can be fully educated, have enough wisdom to be the best versions of yourself and to be the best versions when it comes to your income, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to career, when it comes to just hobbies, anything. You should always educate yourself. You should always study. You should always keep your mind juices flowing so that you know exactly what to do and that you don't drop the ball. Because what we don't want to do, especially as kingdom folk, people who are following Christ and everything, you don't want to drop the ball. Nobody wants to drop the ball. And what I mean by dropping the ball is nobody wants to drop their blessings and mess up and fail. Not saying that you're not going to fail, because God knows when you're going to fail and when you're going to do what you're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, you can't control that. So it's better to be prepared. It's better to understand what you have to do, your options, the opportunities before you. And also studying and educating helps you to know what to say yes to and what not to say yes to. And all of this we're doing while we're in our waiting season. So the next one is attend church. Y'all knew that I was going to say that. Come on now. People that know me knew that was coming. I always tell people to attend church. And I'm not saying that you can't get your church on at home, watching it on YouTube or watching it through Zoom, because I love me some Jerry Flowers. My best friend put me on to him. And honestly, if I'm not at church physically, I'm definitely in my living room with my beautiful big couch with my breakfast and my tea, watching Jerry Flowers, writing down what he has to say, answering like he can hear me, praying, worshiping in here, getting my groove on. Because one thing I love is an educated pastor who can not only preach to me, but also teach me. So I'm sitting here listening to it, but I think it's always better to be a part of the community physically. So going to church, physically getting up, ironing your clothes, putting on your beautiful little dress or jeans and a shirt, whatever, because God says come as you are, driving or having someone drop you off to church is will always help you to the next step of where God wants you. Because at the end of the day, no one was made to be in this world alone. Yes, we came in this world alone and go out alone, but in a sense, that's not always true, because God would have never created Eve for Adam if we were meant to be alone. So going to church, getting to know the people in the church, maybe even making it your church home. Like, you just don't understand the opportunities and the blessings that God have for you because you want to be stuck in the house. And you know what? Maybe that's like a message for me, because I love being in the house. But please attend the church. Go to church, even if you go every other week or whatever the case is. Find a church home. Go inside of a church. And if you don't like how they do things, go to the next. It's not the end of the world. There's so many churches in this world, and in each city, there's no excuse for you not to go to church. Now, as a Black woman, of course, I'm going to want to go to a Black church because that's just where I feel more comfortable. They understand my struggles just a little bit more than the other races in this world. But at the end of the day, if all you got is Little Mary's Bethlehem church, then go to Little Mary's Bethlehem church and worry about yourself and go in there and, listen to the preacher, listen to the apostle, or whoever you're listening to, and get your word, because that's the whole purpose, is to get your word, to get somebody to help you to understand what's next for you. And so the next one, I'm almost done, y'all. The next one, a very important one, go to therapy. I'm so sick of people saying, oh, I don't want to go to therapy because I don't want to sit there and talk to somebody that don't even know me, don't even know what I'm going through, and girl, please, boy, bye. Okay? At the end of the day, stop making excuses. We all need therapy. I don't care what nobody said. No one is perfect. If anybody ever came up to you and said, oh, I don't need therapy, there's nothing wrong with me, run for the hills. Girl, get out of there. Blink twice if you're ready to go. Because at the end of the day, we all need therapy. I'm in therapy right now at my big age. There's people who are older than me that's in therapy. There's kids in therapy. There's therapists in therapy. Everyone needs therapy. Everyone needs a professional who's gone to school for many, many years, has taken precautions, has studied, has educated themselves and learned from higher ups in education. So everybody needs that. Somebody to tell them, what to do, how to channel your emotions, how to channel your thoughts. Everybody thinks, oh, well, that's what my best friend's for. I vent to my best friend, so I don't need therapy. Girl, bye, okay? If your best friend, unless that person is highly educated, got a license, what they say might help you sometimes, but they're not going to have the answers to everything. And I'm not saying that therapists know every single thing, they have the answers for everything. But at the end of the day, I'd rather you go to a licensed professional where they can help you and, try it out and try to see if maybe they can help you to figure out that maybe something was wrong or something that you were dealing with that you didn't even know you were dealing with. They help you to shadow work. They help you to dig within. Unfortunately, your best friend can't do that unless, like I said, they're a licensed therapist. I do therapy on BetterHelp. It's very flexible. And this is not a me trying to get you to buy BetterHelp or an advertisement or whatever the case is, because honestly, I'm not getting paid from nobody. And I mean, if BetterHelp is watching this, if you want to pay me, cool beans, I will advertise, your company because I love your company. But this is not for advertisements and sponsorships. This is me just saying, listen, I love you. I care about you. I don't even know who you are, but you need therapy. You constantly going through these things with someone and it always ended up being your fault. You need therapy. You are feeling things at random times and don't even know what it's about. You need therapy. You're always depressed. You need therapy. You feel like nothing's wrong with you. You need therapy. Mom and daddy issues. You need therapy. At the end of the day, we all need therapy. And I'm going to say it over and over again. Therapy, therapy, therapy. So while you're in your waiting season, go to therapy because it helps you to purge out what's in the inside that's, maybe stopping you and blocking you from your blessings. Next step, journal. This I have a big problem doing, and I think it's just really more of just like, I don't like reading how I feel because it just makes it so surreal. But journal. I'm not gonna make that a long explanation. It tells itself. Journal. Buy you a nice little book. If you cheat, go to the dollar store. They're $1. I hope they're $1 because dollar store done went up. But go to the dollar store, or if you want to be smart and you know that if you start journaling, you're going to journal a lot and need more, buy a bundle on Amazon. There's so many ways that you can do that. Or go to your local Goodwill or whatever. Sometimes they donate. Find a freaking garage sale where they're donating journals. At the end of the day, you can find a journal. Or if you want to just do it on loose leaf paper and put it in a binder, then by all means, journal. Write what you feel. Write what you just went through. Write what you want. And some people are saying like it's like manifestation. I don't really believe in manifestation because something about it just don't feel right in my spirit. It just feels like witchcraft. But that's another conversation for another day, another topic for another episode. Journaling is just writing down and making what you feel a reality so that you could understand and self-analyze. Dang, maybe I should have never said that. Dang, like this is how I really feel about myself. Dang, this is what I think of myself. We need to change that. Therapy helps you to open your eyes or open your third eye, like people say, to really fully understand you or understand other people. So please journal. The next one is enjoy the little moments. I always say that, yeah, it's a small little celebration, but to me it's big. Like some people be like, oh, well, I only have big celebrations when it's like those monumental ages, like 25, 16, 21, 30, 40, 50. But it's like, I don't care if you're turning 67. Celebrate. Yeah, you want to do something big on your 70th, but that doesn't mean that you cannot enjoy, because at the end of the day, it may be little moments to other people, but it should be big for you. At the end of the day, I'm going to celebrate every year that I am turning an age, because there's people in our life that didn't get to meet 24, 25, 23, 22. There's some people in this world, and I'm pretty sure everybody can understand and empathize with the fact that there's some people in this world that didn't get to meet the age that you're about to go to, even though it's like a little 77 or a 55 or a 32. At the end of the day, you're alive. You're alive, you're well, and you're able to continue your life. So enjoy the little moments. Enjoy the little wins. Like, yeah, I just got a little certificate. It's not a little certificate because some people, it's hard for them to even get out of bed to go to school. It's hard for people to even function right, to read and take a course online to get that certificate. Oh, well, it was just a little performance, but not only like dancing it for like 2 songs. Well, guess what? Some people don't have the strength to get up and even move and walk the other side of their building, let alone dance in front of a bunch of people. Some people don't even have the courage to be able to dance in front of people. Oh, well, it was nothing big. I just graduated with my my diploma from high school. Like, it's not like it's college or university. Girl, boy, my dad didn't even get to graduate high school. Okay? There's some people in this world that they are struggling just to go back and get their GED. So if you got your high school diploma, celebrate. Go get lit in the most respectful way for your age and go have a ball. It might be small, but at the end of the day, to some people, that's big because they didn't get to do and get and be who you are. So enjoy the little moments. Almost done. Second to last, have faith. Now, this is going to be a whole nother topic on a whole nother day because it's easier said than done. I even struggle with my faith right now, and I gave my life to Christ years ago. At the end of the day, having faith is just having hope. That's all it is. The word faith is just very fancy, but if you want to dumb it down or bring it down a little, all this is having hope. All it is believing that no matter what, you're going to be okay. No matter what, you're going to reach the top of that mountain. No matter what, you're going to graduate. No matter what, you're going to be able to have kids. And if you're not going to be able to have kids, there's ways around that. You can adopt, you can do surrogacy. It's all kinds of ways and privileges that you can, be able to have kids. So at the end of the day, having faith means believing that no matter what, God got your back. And if you're not a believer, which is sad to say, but hopefully by the end of these episodes, I'm able to help you to be a believer. If you're not, then having faith is just believing in yourself and believing in higher power, that you will be your best versions of yourself, that you will succeed and be able to taste what success and happiness and abundance and love and joy tastes like. And last but not least, focus on your health. I don't care what nobody say. People be like, I'm young, so I don't really need to take vitamins. Oh, I'm black, so I don't even need to go to the doctor. Be for real, okay? Because if I'm not an example, that doesn't matter what age you are, you could still be on your deathbed, then I don't know what. You are never too young or never too old to take care of yourself. Now, some people don't like medicine. Well, guess what? I'm also another representation of what it looks like, what your skin will look like, what your body will feel like, what your hair will look like when you take care of yourself using herbs. So there's no excuse. You don't like medicine, you don't like what the government's making, grow your own herbs. If you don't like the taste of herbs, find supplements to help it taste better. There's so many businesses that actually use organic, healthy products that taste great. For people who don't know, Bloom. Like, I love Bloom. It helps with my gut health. It helps so that I can digest well with like foods that I eat. Teas. If you're not a big tea person, then there's other, like, I like the Olippops, like those little drinks that kind of taste like soda, but it's not soda because it's supposed to be healthier. Like, you got those. You got all kinds of different things to help you so that you can enjoy your health journey. For those who don't like going to the gym, I understand. Trust me. Me and the gym, we are not friends. We are mortal enemies. We are mortal enemies. I do not like the gym. The gym don't like me. We don't go together. We ain't twinning, okay? Understand completely. But you're home, you ain't got nothing to do, and you got a bunch of heavy stuff in your house. Use that and lift some weights. Do a couple of sit-ups. You like to twerk? Girl, that's an exercise. Put on some Zumba or put on some whatever, whoever you listen to, Glow. I love to get a little shake in through Glow. That's my girl. Like, I listen to her when I want to get hyped, because even though she says some really crazy stuff, she also says some very uplifting stuff, some stuff that I would like to say to myself and believe that I am her. So I listen to Glow. I don't really care for all these other people, but listen to whoever. Or if you want to listen to a nice, good song like Kirk Franklin's Stomp. Everybody knows Stomp from Kirk Franklin. Whatever you need to listen to and get your dance on. I'm not saying twerk to gospel music because that's probably not going to work out. But dance, jump, do whatever you need to do. That's how you get your exercise. I hate walking. You will never catch me walking. And if you catch me walking, that wasn't me. But, if you have a dog, dogs need exercise. Go take that dog for a walk, even if it's just a 10-minute walk outside. If you live in the fiery pits like I do in the summertime and sometimes in the springtime, then maybe just go in your backyard and play like fetch or something with your dog and run around so that you can just get that, get that exercise going. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, take care of yourself. Go to that doctor, and if you don't have a trusted doctor, find a doctor that you trust. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody has a good nurse or a good family member who's a doctor or that knows a doctor. Go talk to people and try to find somebody that can take care of your health to make sure that you are healthy and happy in the inside and out. I finally found me a PCP, which is my personal doctor, and I'm looking for a gynecologist because the way that life is going right now with Donald Trump and Kamala Harris and all these policies being written and put into place about women's reproductive systems and our bodies and stuff, you got to make sure that you find a gynecologist as a woman, and you need to make sure you find a great PCP as a male, to make sure that your body is going to be taken care of no matter what policies are put in place, no matter what they're doing to ruin us as individuals. I always say, as a black woman, to find a black doctor. And that's just not me being racist or anything like that. I have nothing against colors and all this other stuff. You could be purple, I'll still love you. But, you know, from experience, I've experienced going to a Caucasian doctor, or even not even that, could be black, but it's a male doctor, and they just don't understand what it means to be a black woman, what it means to have black women insides and uterus, and going through things like PCOS. Like, that's something that I have to deal with as well, and that'll be another topic for another day. But there's things that a man can't tell me what to do when it comes to my body, because he doesn't know what it means to have my body and what it means to be a woman and give birth. So at the end of the day, focus on your health. Get someone that you're comfortable with. Take care of yourself. Do not let our parents' generation and their parents' generation play over in your head where you don't need to go to the doctor unless you're sick. Because at the end of the day, some people be sick and don't even know they're sick, and to the point that they don't go to the doctor until they're basically on their last leg. And we don't want that. Take care of yourself. Eat the right stuff. Just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that you can't enjoy a burger. There's bean burgers, there's turkey burgers, there's burgers that's not even a cow, okay? Out there. And if you really love a good beef like me, I'm a sucker for steak. You would never catch me not eat steak, even though I shouldn't be eating steak. Have it every now and then. You don't have to have it every single day. Tuesday don't always have to be Taco Tuesday. Like, take care of yourself. Eat better. Go to the doctor, or go to an urgent care, or go to a personal practice. Go talk to somebody that you trust that can help you to be better with your health. I don't care if you're 14 years old, running track, healthy as a horse. Go to the doctor. Make sure that you're okay. Make sure that your body, make sure that your blood type is okay. Make sure that, you know, your heart is healthy and beating exactly the way it's supposed to. Drink your teas, drink your herbs, eat the right stuff. Because, I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed, but like, they did a recall on freaking public subs. And, you know, being a girl from Florida, being a girl from where I'm from, like, a public sub is our safe place. But at the end of the day, they're doing a recall because of the meat and the things that, unfortunately, the government is giving us. So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole about talking about the government, but at the end of the day, take care of yourself and make sure you know what you're putting in your body. Make sure you do your research before you put it in your body. Make sure you do your research before you just go to any gynecologist, any doctor, any personal practitioner, whatever they're called. Make sure you do your research before you do any of that, and make sure you know what's right for your body type. Because just because I can drink all the herbs and it doesn't affect my body doesn't mean that my homegirl can. Because who knows, her body might react to it different. She might be allergic to something that I've been drinking. So do your research and take care of yourself. These are the 10 steps that helped me at the age that I am and younger to be the best versions of myself and to prepare myself for what God has planned for me. But most importantly, talk to God. Ask God what should be your next step before you even do my steps. I am not a professional. I am not giving you information that I'm saying, oh yeah, this is the definitely the right thing to do. I'm saying this worked for me, and maybe it could work for you. So try it out and just let me know in the comments if it did help. Because honestly, what would make me be filled with joy and be filled with peace is that I was able to help somebody. Okay, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I go through my fair share of things. But within your waiting season, there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be no's to your questions. There's going to be times where God gets silent and don't tell you anything because what he said the first time was to just be patient and wait. Like, there's going to be times where you're like, what to do next? Why did this happen? Why are you letting this happen? How am I supposed to be that version? I don't feel like I could be that version. I'm still stuck in my old habit ways. I'm still doing this and doing that. Have faith, chill out, enjoy what's going on around you, be self-aware of who you are and how you are to people, and just focus on the little things until you're able to get to the big things that God has for you, which is that favor and which is the blessings and the miracles that are coming for you. So we're going to go ahead and go to segment 3 of this podcast. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for actually taking the time to listen to me, listen to this episode, feeling the need to place me as some type of priority to even support me. I thank my homegirl who I started this podcast with and started doing things with, because she taught me so much when it comes to content creating, because I don't know nothing about content creating. If it was up to me, I wouldn't even want to be anywhere on anybody's social media. So I thank her for pushing me out of my comfort zone when it comes to this. And I thank all of my family and my friends who pushed me to continue doing this podcast, because with all the things that's been going on in my life, like, I felt like I couldn't do this or that I wasn't ready. And I feel God was just saying, like, no, you are ready. Stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting me. I got your back. So it feels good to know that I'm able to do this. It feels comfortable. I'm in the comfort of my own home, and I'm able to do this at my own pace. I'm not saying I'm going to post every week, but just know when I post, be ready to hear me out, be able to sit down, get your popcorn, get your drinks, sit down and listen to me and see, what I got going on. If you are a big fan of listening instead of the visual work, then you can find me on Spotify at Better My Blueprint. And if you don't care for Spotify, don't really want to download any more apps, then you can find me on YouTube, which is usually on everybody's phone, or you can access it on like Safari, online, Google Chrome, whatever. I will be on YouTube so that you can see this beautiful face that God created every day. And you can watch me on YouTube. Of course, I will put all the information that I said I was going to put in the description, especially on my YouTube video. And I just hope that you guys really loved listening to me. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram at Better My Blueprint. And I'll also put my personal name, YouTube. I'll also be putting my personal Instagram name so that you can follow me on there. Don't think that later on in the future I'm going to get so big that I don't respond. I hate when people don't respond to me. So if you have anything that you want to say, any more inspiration and ideas that helped you in your waiting season that I didn't mention, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and DM me and text me and whatever it is, and let me know so that I can let everybody else know, because I don't like to be a person to hold back tea. I want to let y'all know what I found out. I love to find new things out and tell people about it, especially when they don't know. It just boosts up my ego just a little bit. So please don't hesitate to comment. Please tell me what you're doing in the process of your waiting season and what you're waiting for in your waiting season. And if you need advice, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because I will give you the best advice that I can based on my experience. I will see you guys in the next episode. Love y'all. Bye.